What's going on, Fear fans?
What's up, guys?
We've got a full panel. I'm very, very excited that we actually have a full panel this week, you guys.
Yay!
We might be on the wrong day, but we are back together again.
We are all together. That's what matters, truly.
Thank you, everybody, for watching tonight. We apologize for the switch over in our days the past 2 weeks, but we will be back to our regular scheduled programming next week, Monday nights at 9 p.m. Sorry, 8 p.m.
Yes.
I'm all confused. I'm
What?
confused, too.
Yes.
Next week, it'll be Monday back at 8 p.m. So thank you guys for your patience. But first, I would love to introduce my beautiful panel. Go ahead and introduce yourself, guys.
Hey guys, I'm Krista Flengy.
I'm April Wisenhant.
What's up, guys? I am Benny Adams.
And like I said, guys, tonight we're talking Alicia, Lucy, and Morgan. They're searching for the kids. John and June's love story continues, but expands after they find a new character and a surprise ending at the end of the episode. We've still got our favorite kill segment coming up at the end. We've got our how not to survive a zombie apocalypse as well. We've got some news and gossip, plus predictions. I want to get into overall thoughts of the episode. Let me know, guys.
Well, we learned some things.
Yes, we did.
I'll wait till we get into it, but I was shocked. Yeah, I felt like it was very the John and June show, but it was fun. We got to see John use some of his gun wielding skills, which was fun. It's like the perfect scenario for him, which was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite so far, I mean, we're only 3 episodes in, so there you go. But I actually read a lot of people saying that online, that it was their favorite episode, that it almost kind of felt like a revival for Fear the Walking Dead. Ooh. At first, I was kind of like, this is a little too Western-y for me. And then they totally changed it around in the best way possible. Things that I thought that I would hate, I actually loved.
Yeah.
So my favorite episode by far, and definitely I'm good with how they introduced some people to us.
Yeah, the writers are definitely kicking butt on this season. I really like this episode. The ending, like you guys said, it shocked me. And I really like that little crossover that they did. That was really cool. So
yeah. I completely agree with you, April. I feel like this was, I mean, it's like you said, 3 episodes in. So it's kind of early and a little premature to say, but it was definitely by far my favorite episode of the 3 that we've watched so far, mostly because I love John and June. I know everybody else does. Yeah. But I also love the character expansions that they're doing. And obviously there were 2 twists in this episode that I honestly, one of them I didn't see coming so early. Actually, both of them I really didn't see coming so early. So I'm excited to talk about it.
Me too.
I want to talk about Alicia and Lucy's storyline first. Because I kind of like what Fear the Walking Dead is doing with their characters. I like that they're building up their repertoire, if you will, as in like their character chemistry. Because they really haven't had many scenes together, if you guys realize. Yeah. And I'm excited to see Nick's death kind of bring them together, because I thought that that's what it was going to do, and they haven't showed that.
It's taken a while.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that that's what they're going. That's what the writers are going for. What are your thoughts on Lucy and Alicia?
I mean, I feel like we've all had the same thoughts about Lucy. She's just kind of been like a womp womp of a character. And so I feel like they're trying to do whatever they can to build her up a little more, but they're doing it in a good way with one of the best possible characters that they can. So it was good also just to kind of see them growing together and making me like, shocker, a little more, that everyone's like, we have to save the world. Yeah. Because even though that's great, obviously I haven't been fully on board, which probably makes me sound like the worst person ever, but y'all get it. So I like that they were having a little more bonding moment. Completely forgot that she was all hurt somehow. Yeah, I don't know how I forgot that.
Really?
And then she like gets hit. I'm like,
oh
yeah, you're hurt. Duh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, like didn't rest 1 minute. She's just out and about, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I like them. I like them a lot. I think it's going to help her grow on us, like you said. Yeah. Because before then, we've all just kind of been like, okay, if she dies, I'm not sure how sad I'd be. She'd be like an easy one to go off, because I feel like she's had no storyline. Even with Nick, she was kind of like a
secondary character.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like now I feel like with him out of the picture, it pushes her to the forefront a bit. So I like that we're seeing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this new friendship that these two are starting, and I think they're going to help each other out. You know, Alicia is just so gung-ho on fighting and killing, and the other, she's just more level-headed, and I think they're gonna help each other out, and they're gonna both make each other stronger.
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up, Benny, because what Lucy says in the car to Alicia, and she's like, they're talking about the plane crash, and she's like, if we can survive, if we can take a plane and crash it and almost die for people that we don't even know, then we must be on the right track. Yeah. And what I took from that was that Lucy hasn't lost hope on humanity.
Right.
And I think that's the overall, I don't want to say the overall theme of Fear the Walking Dead, but it's definitely a prevalent one. And it's really mostly about not losing who we are as people and continuing to care about each other, because if you don't, then we become the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Which
I just realized that they're giving us a lot of like life speeches in the show recently. It's a lot of like, well, if we can do that, then we're the best. I don't know. And you see it happen throughout. And I don't know if it's a Morgan thing, because Morgan's done it always, since he's on The Walking Dead. There's a part of me that's like, okay, let's just get to slaying some people. But I mean, very uplifting.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Keeping hope alive on the show.
Always got to keep hope alive. So in terms of keeping hope alive, they're still searching for Annie, Dylan, and Max, because they really want to help them. That's their whole mission, is helping people who don't want to be helped, apparently.
Right.
They really want to help these kids, and I think that they want to help them even more so because they are kids. And they hear them on the walkie, and they sound like they're in trouble. I know we know the ending of the episode, but at this point, did you guys believe that they were actually in trouble?
I did.
You did?
Yeah. I was, that ending shocked me like no other. I thought that the mystery bad guy was trying to get them, and I had no idea whatsoever. So that was a good one.
I don't know. I thought the timing was way too perfect for them to call the minute they're like, not for long, let's slay these guys.
Right.
But I didn't necessarily think it was the kids that were lying. I thought that maybe like the kids were lying to them because they were captured or something.
Yes.
But I wasn't expecting the way it went. I was just like, this is like way too suspicious.
Yeah. I just didn't think that they were hurt in general. Like, I mean, I know that's a weird thing to say, but literally when you hear the kid on the phone go like, Alicia, I'm like, oh, this is a fake out. He sounded like it was a fake out.
Well, before that point though, like in the beginning.
Yeah.
When
I still didn't believe him. I was
really?
like, they're fine. Yeah. I don't know why, but it's just because I kind of thought that from the beginning, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously it's just a little too coincidental. Like, now I'm going to finally, I don't know.
Yeah, there were some red flags.
Well, speaking of how Morgan always has these philosophies and these speeches that he likes to do, he reunites back up with Lucy and Alicia, and he pretty much tells Alicia, because at this point Alicia's like, you know what, they can go and I don't really care anymore, but he tells them, if they're still listening, maybe they can't respond, so maybe you need to try to reach them in some way. And that clicks with Alicia, so she has this whole speech about how she lost her mom and she lost her brother, and she knows how much they're hurting. And this is something that I needed from Alicia's character ever since she lost Madison and Nick. She hasn't really said anything out loud about it.
Yeah.
And to say it to a bunch of strangers over a walkie, I felt was appropriate for her character, because she's not a very lovey-dovey, like she's not a very, I'm going to talk to you and I'm going to share my feelings with you. She's not that person. So for her to do it over a walkie to a bunch of kids who she's trying to help made sense to me. What about you guys?
I totally agree. I mean, it's like, she's the one character that can truly just like, or did truly pull it off in the best way, because she has this amazing story and because it's so genuine, and because she's been so hard before, it's almost like, not that she's an ice queen, but it's like melting the ice queen a little bit. Like, and just in the most odd of situations where at one point she was like, why the heck are we going to go after these kids? They don't want us. And this is what made her kind of break a little bit and kind of say something that she needed to say and give us as viewers what we wanted, is like, okay, we see you going crazy over your mom and brother's death, but this is like something, that pulls in a different way. I mean, it sucks that she had to reveal it to the people that she did, but I mean, at the time, it doesn't take away anything from it, because she truly did it for the best of reasons, and it was just the perfect timing to kind of reveal that she, what she's going through mentally, I guess.
Yeah, it was definitely a glimmer of hope for her, like you said, she's been on this path of just destruction, and so for her to just open up like that was a big step for her, and it's going to be one of many steps for her to to get to that path of where she's ready to just open up to people and express her emotions to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that it's totally Morgan that... Is there no one that Morgan can't break? Like, he's
Seriously, though.
Yeah, it's great, though. So I love that it was just, you know, he shows up and he's like, maybe they can still hear you. And she's like, light bulb, let's do it. I was like, yes, Morgan. She's like, okay. Yeah, but
Morgan
I love that that's his character.
Always.
With everyone.
Yeah. Y'all, I have a slight sidebar. I'm in the chat right now. For everybody who's in there, hit us up. Ben Bateman said, Tim, just a Starlead host. Brings me back to the old days.
Oh, Ben, I love you.
That's so nice.
That's so sweet. Thank you, Ben. We miss you.
A lot of people think that the kids are not truly bad, but just like don't want them around.
That's what it kind of seemed like at the end by what they were saying. We want to see why they're actually here and who took their friend, and then they never come back. So maybe it's just like their fight for survival that they just want to be alone there.
Yeah.
But it's like still you're taking it the long road. I feel like
you're stopping people.
It's just
Here's my thing, and I do want to wait until we get to that topic. But they're going through a lot of trouble just to be like, we would just want to be left alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's something else. It's a little bit more. I feel, in my opinion, it's just a little bit like more sinister than that.
Yeah, I agree.
But
dun, dun, dun.
Alicia and Lucy and Morgan, they find John and June, who've been going through their own kind of Western love story. But before we get into that, you guys, I'm going to shoot it over to Benny.
Yeah, so we have a special announcement for you guys. We just want to thank you for making us the ESPN of TV talk. And in order for us to grow, we need your help. So if you are on YouTube right now, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. If you are on iTunes, go ahead, give us a 5-star, and leave us a comment while you're at it. Let us know how we're doing. Working at AfterBuzz means so much to us. You have no idea, and we just want to continue to learn and grow and just give you guys amazing content. So keep watching, and we'll keep giving you guys good content.
Yeah, guys, we love you. I mean, we do this show for you, and we love interacting with you all. So if you're listening to us on iTunes, give us a thumbs up, give us a comment. We love reading them. Make sure you're subscribing to AfterBuzz TV on Twitter and subscribing on YouTube as well. If you're listening to us on Spotify and iTunes, give us a 5-star rating because all we like is 5 stars.
Oh, yeah. 5 stars only.
5 stars only.
The other stars don't count.
The 4 seasons of stars.
Exactly. So John and June. Who doesn't love John and June? I just need a survey. I'm very angry about it. I love them so much.
No. So I used to not love John and June.
We know.
There it is.
You're like, I was waiting on that. But tonight, something just changed in me. I think it's because it had something to do with John. I'll never be able to like put my finger on it or to say why, but I kept seeing just on Twitter and Instagram a lot of people being like, thank God they finally utilized him. Like they finally did what he's good at, meaning like Garrett Dillahunt as an actor.
Yes.
Not just, John as the character.
Yes.
But seeing how he interacted with them and how he kind of explained everything, and even, what happened when we get our new guest, something about it just made me finally like them a little bit.
Yeah.
No, I agree completely. It makes me nervous because whenever they push a love story like this in an apocalypse, it's just like, is someone gonna die?
Right.
You know what I mean? Everything's too happy and they're so in love and it's going too smoothly. And so hopefully that's not the case, but it just makes me very nervous because if something would happen to June, John would go into a very dark place.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And I think opposite, maybe not as much so, but she would too. But yeah, and I also love, he was just the best today. Like, I think he's so good at what he does, like being the sheriff and like he's like so skilled. So I wish they'd show that more because he was a badass today.
Yeah, it definitely gave off like a Western feel in their relationship. It's growing on me. So I don't dislike them, but they're not my favorite. Okay. But they're growing. They're growing on me.
So 3 against 1.
Right?
I mean, that's fair, though. That's fair. So obviously we have to build up this conflict. So our characters are separated from the beginning of the episode. John and June lose contact with Lucy, Morgan, and Alicia. And they find once again the walkers are tied together. It's just like they're just like planting all these seeds to how it's all going to tie together in the end. Yeah. And this shootout occurs. Who thought? I just want to know who thought that it was the people who were tying the walkers together that was shooting at them.
I did.
Yeah.
So did I. Yeah. I mean, obviously we'll get to it, but this leads them to Humbug's Gulch, where we find that John used to work, which I thought, I was on board with you at first, April. I was like, it's a little too campy, it's a little too westerny, even the western music.
Right, that down.
Like, he got out of the car, it's his boot, close up on the boot, and I was like, he's
I was
in
waiting
black.
for a tumbleweed to go flying.
They did, they had a tumbleweed, remember?
God, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, this is a little too campy, but then we realized that this is John in his element.
Right.
And this is an episode that we've been waiting for them to do with John for the longest time, because he has so many assets to and just he's just a complex character that I was waiting for them to expand on his character a little bit more, not just make it him all about June. And in regards to that, I mean, it was a John and June episode, but he was a little bit more of the star, whereas opposed to June has been mostly the star.
Right. He's in his element.
Exactly, yeah. What did you guys think about his backstory of, like, he used to work here before he became a cop, and, you know, we didn't realize that he was this good at trick shooting at the time.
Right.
But he's telling you, hey, I was a trick shooter here. That's pretty cool. What is a trick shooter? I didn't even know what that was.
Like,
well, we learned tonight.
Yeah,
I know.
Literally, if I could have pictured a perfect young John job, that would be it. Like, it's so fitting for him. So I liked it.
For a second, I Googled, actually. I was like, is this a Western-themed episode? Because it was so hardcore Western. And then I was like, wait, what year are we in the show? Because it seemed like it set you back like 100 years. Maybe not 100 years, but like 50 years. But I liked learning that side of him. And it just explains so much more, like how he can kind of do the crazy things that he can. But I'm liking him being more of a star. You know, we all have our faves and everything, but he's quickly working his way up there for sure.
Yeah, I really liked it. We definitely saw him in his element, and we said like it was a campy feel, but that's how he is. He's a campy type of character.
That's a great point.
So I really liked it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I completely enjoyed what they were doing with his character. Of course, they have to. Everything can't go that easy. So then they invent this dust storm to come, which traps them in there. I forgot to mention they were at Humbug's Gulch because they were looking for guns and ammo.
Yeah.
Right.
Because Clayton's partner, I forgot his name, stole all of their weapons.
Right.
Oh, yes.
In the first episode. So they were looking for guns and ammo, and that's why they're there. So they find all the guns and ammo, but like I said, this dust storm hits and traps them inside. John thinks that they can make it out. June is like, no, let's just wait here. Who would you have sided with?
I'd have waited
John, of course.
You would have waited?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, it's a dust storm. Well, who cares?
Wait,
go
there
ahead.
are people outside.
Yeah, I just
Not
was like,
that
are they
many.
going to be able to
That
see
one.
them? There's someone, I don't know.
Have you ever encountered a dust storm, April?
I mean, kind of. It's more like, it's not necessarily dust, it's straight up dirt. But
Okay.
like, it's a dust storm because it's so thin. But I mean, it's bad, but it's not. I've been through worse. Like, I would say rain is worse. I mean,
I would say 405 traffic is
I
worse.
was just like, how long can it really last? Let's just hold it out and we'll live.
Yeah.
Is what I was hoping. Yeah.
I'm with
guess that's
June
the
on
point.
this one. Just stay in, be safe.
You
Don't
guys
get
have some
yourself into
gum? They were
trouble.
like snacking on
They got
something.
food,
I was like,
right? They have
chill.
guns to protect them. It's like the perfect place.
They don't
Snuggle
have
for a
very
while.
much like romance. I mean, they could have
That's
like
true. They could have
done
snuggled.
it.
Yeah, I don't know.
They could have. I was going to say they could have just camped out for the night and
Yeah.
had some alone
A little
time.
romantic date night.
But John didn't want to do that. He wants to get out of there and he wants to go for the car.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's very true to John's character.
Yeah.
But as soon as they go outside, once again, this person is shooting at them. And I didn't realize that it was just one person. John takes a shot at him, and he's such a freaking good shot that
First shot.
literally just hits him.
Yeah.
And obviously he's not trying to kill him, because if he was, he would have done that.
Right.
And then we find out that it's Dwight.
Holy smokes.
Who was surprised? Because we knew that if we read the news and gossip, and Benny's been on top of it, we knew that Dwight's character from The Walking Dead was going to cross over. But who thought that it was going to be this early?
I didn't.
I didn't think it was going to be this
Or not
early.
like that.
And
Yeah.
not in such a surprising way. Like, I think they did that better than almost anything else in the episode, because everyone was like, oh my God, Dwight. And then so many people were like, I never thought I would be so happy to see Dwight. Like, they just did it in a good way, and to still like tie him into looking for his wife, and it was just amazing. I couldn't believe I was happy to see Dwight.
Yeah.
I
was too.
I hated
I was like,
Dwight.
okay.
Did you really?
Well, because what he did to Daryl at the beginning, I never forgot it.
Somebody holds a grudge.
Right? But I was genuinely happy to see him. I was like, this is how you do on crossover.
Yes, it was
like
this.
Yes.
It was great.
Do we think that the Dwight crossover was better than the Morgan crossover?
Yes.
The way it came out,
no.
yes. The way it
I
played.
know. I thought the Morgan crossover was. I mean, I think the Dwight crossover was good, but I thought the Morgan crossover was amazing.
I think what I'd say is the Dwight crossover was more of a surprise.
Yeah.
Morgan's was like long and drawn out, and we watched
and we
him venturing across miles. Yes.
Yeah.
But that one was like very hyped, and like we're like, he's coming, and then this one was just like, oh, he's here. Yeah. Which I liked.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. So they shoot him. Now they have to find shelter because all this gunfire obviously attracted all the walkers. As always, which I'm like, oh, why?
They wasted on each other.
Yeah.
They literally wasted all of the ammo.
And ruining the cars. Yeah.
And ruining the cars. I mean, I guess it was for a good reason at the time. If they would have just sat down and had a conversation,
would have been better.
It would have been better. But then they lock themselves up during the dust storm as the walkers come, and John thought of a good idea to use the piano, the self-playing piano. I think
Brilliant.
that it's something different. It's something called different, right?
Probably. It
Oh, it
looked like
is.
a wind-up piano.
Yeah.
I don't know. What
I don't
it is.
exactly know what it's called
Piano.
either, but he uses that as a way to distract the walkers, which I always love how they distract the walkers, like the things that they come up with to distract the walkers. I just think it's really cool when they come up with them, because I'm like, let's use the self-playing piano.
Right.
Brilliant.
It's a Western.
Works for me.
Well, why not? And then they figure out how to get out through the window. But then John and June, they go to Dwight's car, and Dwight wants to be stubborn and goes back to their car because we find out that Sherry's been leaving him notes, and he's been tracking this car, which is why he's been following John and June since the beginning of the episode.
Right.
And and I don't know about you, April, but this just made me like Dwight even more, because he's been searching for this woman. He's been searching for Sherry for so long. Tracking cars, you guys. Do you know how hard it is to track a car in a zombie apocalypse?
Right.
He's
hard.
I don't know how he's done. I would have given up like 6 months ago. I don't know.
Well, even just the way that whenever they had him tied up inside and he was kind of communicating with them at that time, you can tell that his character is, they're going to take him in a different way than they did Dwight before on The Walking Dead. But it was definitely touching, especially because of what his wife did to him. I mean, she didn't do some great stuff when they were on The Walking Dead. But I was definitely surprised, especially that he's lasted this long by himself. Like, to think of what he's gone through, I mean, we should expect it. But at first, I was kind of like, ooh, are they gonna like make him trick them? But I mean, he seemed to turn around. But I guess that's what a year in the zombie apocalypse looking for someone will do.
By yourself.
And the moment where he said, the walker.
Yes.
I was like, that is
the
walker.
Yes, it's been
that was
bothering
awesome.
me. Yes.
That was
And John
awesome.
was like, what'd you say?
Yeah.
He's like, the walker? Duh. What have you been calling them?
Yeah.
Was anybody surprised that he didn't find another note in the car from Sherry?
No, because that would have been too easy.
Yeah.
Really? I thought that he would have found something in the car because it would have led him to her. Do we think, and this might, we might want to save the predictions, but I'm going to ask you guys anyway. Do we think that we're going to find Sherry in this season?
Yes, but I don't think I think he's gonna find her and then
find out
she's
what
gonna
happened
die
to her.
afterwards, because we've seen this storyline before with June.
Yeah.
And so they found each other, and so I don't think they're gonna do it the same.
Yeah, that's why I was worried that he's gonna find out what happened to her, but I don't know if it's gonna be what he she's gonna be living at the end of it.
I was gonna ask, do you guys think it's gonna be like a Carol and her daughter scenario where he finds her and she's actually a walker?
We haven't had one of those in a long time. We've had a lot of people on both shows looking for people who they quote unquote knew were zombies. I don't think they'll bring her back, only because she wasn't, they can only have so many characters on the show, and she wasn't like a character that, is going to pull at you and you want to see from The Walking Dead. Not that she wasn't a great actress and a good character, but it's just, her role. She had a very small role.
Right.
But I'm sure at some point, probably like once we've forgotten about it and never think about it, they're going to open a door and she's going to be sitting right there, like, zombie out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. But Dwight feels obviously discouraged because he's been looking for Sherry for over a year, and he's pretty much ready to kill himself in this car. Did anybody think that he was actually going to do it?
No.
One episode.
I know.
No.
I was like, come on, guys,
Not
really? I was like, it's a little far fetched to believe that you're going to introduce a character for a crossover. He's literally traveled from Virginia to Texas for over a year looking for his wife, and he's going to kill himself in a car.
He also tried everything that episode. I was like, how many times do you have to jump off a roof or lock yourself in a car that's full of, you know what I mean? Like, come on, either do it or just let's get on with it because we're wasting ammo.
Yeah, but June talks him down from the ledge.
Yes.
Which I loved that it was June because in her talking him down from this ledge, she reveals a lot about why she left John in the first place. So it takes us back to when they met in the cabin and why she left and how she left. Right. And it really expanded their relationship because they've never said it to each other, which once again, it's just a June and John love story, and I love when they talk about themselves.
Well, we kind of knew that was the case for the both of them, and she's talked about it before, definitely never to him. But maybe that was another reason why they kind of pulled at me a little more than before, because you can tell that it meant a lot to him, and it just actually seemed genuine, because you have to think in this world that they're in right now, they do have a lot, like so many other people have lost so many, not that they haven't in other ways, but it made me happy for them. By the way, Eric, I'm gonna butcher this, early in chat says they whoever they is said there will be no more crossovers.
Okay, so the writers and stuff, the producers,
exactly.
and
every time somebody says they say this, I'm like, who's they?
Probably the writers and the producers. That's
the creators.
I mean, never say never, Eric. I mean, I don't know. They keep.
Well, we know something with Rick and all that.
Right.
It's eventually going to cross over.
Plus, they're making, as Benny said in our news and gossip last episode or 2 episodes ago, there's going to be another spin-off show.
Yeah.
So there might not be any crossovers with Fear the Walking Dead, but there could be other crossovers with this new show.
Of course, there's going to be another one.
Of course,
definitely making the universe bigger.
Yeah.
So that should be
along with the movies that are coming.
Make that money, boo.
Yeah.
I mean, rightfully so. I mean, it's a great universe to live in. I mean, it's a really cool concept.
People enjoy it, and we all watch it.
Exactly. This is why we're still here. So Dwight is trapped in the car. John and June take it upon themselves to rescue him because after all of this, why not?
Right.
Yeah, sure.
And this is when we see this awesome scene where we really see how skilled John is.
Oh, yeah.
So Dwight gets pinned under this walker, and he's got an axe. It's all he's got. They've got 1 bullet left, and then John does this trick shot.
San Antonio split.
San Antonio
awesome
split.
Was that?
Nailed it.
That was amazing.
That was
great.
amazing. I mean, who saw that coming?
I mean, no.
Not me.
Yeah. I didn't even know you could do that.
He's like, raise the axe. I'm like, why are you raising the axe?
First, I was like, he doesn't even have any energy. Why are you telling him to do that? Yeah.
Also, I'm like, if you have enough energy to lift your axe, you can push the walker off of you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
But I guess he still would have been alive. Like, what can you do?
But I was like, he could have been doing more. He didn't seem to be trying to get the walker off enough.
And like, he held that axe. Like, that was not moving.
Yeah.
But it was a great shot. So it was worth it.
It was really cool. I enjoyed it. Sometimes I think that The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead are going to go too overboard, or they're going to go too unrealistic. And at first, when it happened, I was like, really, you guys? And because I forgot that he says in the beginning of the episode, I used to be a trick shot. Because I didn't know what that was. I'm from New York, you guys. I don't know what that is. So after he was like, oh yeah, I'm a trick shot, and then he says it's only the second time I've ever pulled that off, they make it believable.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
They definitely, no, it was just what you said. They saved themselves because at first I was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
But then at the end when he was saying, okay, this was the second time I've done this before, I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys gonna pass. You're gonna pass.
It's not gonna happen again.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah.
So then John being because he's not only a skilled shooter, but he's also very smart, because then he tells Dwight that the VIN number doesn't match the car that he was shooting at in the first place. So Dwight, and this frustrated the hell out of me, you guys, because Dwight literally wasted almost a year searching for this car, or for the past few months searching for this car.
Right.
And it's not even the right car.
Which for me, I'm like, Dwight, don't you realize there's like so many cars that look alike? You gotta check the VIN.
When he pulled up the registration, I didn't think of it at first, but when John says this after, and he's like, the VIN doesn't match the VIN of this car, I'm like, why didn't you look?
Yeah.
It's probably right there in a sticker, like, or on the side. like what you just gave up. You're like, oh,
Well,
no letter.
All he had to do was follow them, wait till they parked, left their car, and then check the VIN number.
Yeah.
That's all he had to do. But of course, he wanted to be all proactive and started shooting at people that he didn't even know.
Someone's not the brightest tool in the toolbox.
But I did like that scene where he's explaining that, where he's
Yes.
like, y'all don't want to be with me. I do terrible things. I almost killed you to find the wrong car. And I think that's where they show us that, like, okay, we're clearly trying to make a turn in him. Because he's actually feeling some remorse. He doesn't have Negan over him, kind of forcing him to do these terrible things and putting these ideas into his head. So it makes, there's like this after show part where he was like, I know everyone hated my character on The Walking Dead, so I was happy to be introduced in a different way on this show.
True.
So it was sweet.
No, I'm excited to see where they go with Dwight. And I honestly didn't hate him that much on The Walking Dead. I mean, I did in the beginning, but then finding out what happened with Sherry and Negan and the face burn and why he got it and like him helping Daryl and all this. Like, he really redeemed himself in The Walking Dead toward the end. So for people to be like, oh, I hated Dwight in the Fear of the Walking Dead, I don't understand why, because he redeemed himself in The Walking Dead, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be the case for Fear of the Walking Dead. Like, his storyline is going to be about redemption and doing right on others.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So Alicia, Lucy, and Morgan reunite with John and June at the Humbug Gulch. And there's this reunion between Dwight and Morgan. And if there's anything better than two crossovers in a show, it's when the two crossover characters meet for the first time.
That was awesome.
And I need to know I need to know your thoughts on when they met. Especially you, April, not discounting anybody else's opinion, but you love Morgan.
Yes.
But you also at the same time didn't like Dwight, so I want to know your opinion.
Well, okay, I can't exactly remember what they experienced or like how they ended things whenever Morgan left versus like where Dwight was at that point in his personality type thing. But I totally he said he redeemed himself. I can't remember exactly where he was.
I don't think Morgan saw much of that, did he?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So
because he left before then.
Yep.
They clearly you can clearly tell there's some sort of tension, but I love that Morgan was just like, Dwight? And that he was like, we'll talk about it later. There's because probably some stuff he's gonna say isn't gonna be that great for people to learn about him 2 seconds in. But I loved it. I thought it was like funny, but in a good way, just because of the grin on Morgan's face.
Yeah.
Like, dude was grinning from ear to ear.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably for him like, oh, they're still alive over there. At least some of them are, and these people I left, and it's also like, wow, we came full circle. This is weird. Yeah. But it was very Morgan-esque. Like, whatever you did, we've all done things. You're here now. I was like, of course, Morgan.
Yeah, it was like someone from his home was in this new area. Yeah. So it was like a case of familiarity for him. So I really liked that. And I don't think, did they really have like one-on-one time on The Walking Dead? I don't think they really did.
If they did, it would have been very minimal.
So it's very interesting to see these two characters because they didn't really interact that much. So it's going to be interesting to see like how they interact with each other.
Yeah.
I think I liked it too because Morgan, obviously ran away from Alexandria and the whole thing, and he was like, I can't deal with this. And he left because he was like, he
just wants to be by himself.
He wants to be by himself, and he knew that he would kill for these people if he stayed with them, and he didn't want to kill, whatever. But to see him actually happy about a thing that kind of brings him back to there, I love it because the whole, for forever I was like, why is Morgan so upset with Alexandria? But I think they just did it in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also really fun to see. Not fun is the wrong word, but kind of relieving to see somebody, because if you think about it, Virginia to Texas is not the shortest trip.
It's a long way.
So in this world, in a zombie apocalypse, like to see somebody who you used to be with in a different state.
Yes.
During a zombie apocalypse, it's like when Michonne saw her friend from high school in The Walking Dead, that episode. You're like, what?
Yeah,
you're still
that
here.
Stuff doesn't happen anymore.
Exactly.
This is like, no.
It's hard enough as it is running into somebody in a grocery store nowadays.
Right.
Yeah.
So imagine running into somebody that you used to know,
and they're still breathing.
And they're still breathing. I think that's why Morgan was so happy as well.
Yeah.
Because, and I felt like it was a reminder that he has people at home that are, like you said, Chris is still alive.
Which that'll be nice when they have that conversation.
Yes, yeah. So I loved it. I loved the reunion. I loved that, I like that Morgan was trying to cover Dwight and saying, you know, let's not talk
Not
about
here.
it here, because Alicia should be the first person to be like, we gotta kill him.
Yeah.
You're dead.
You're dead. So yeah, I think that in Morgan saying that to Dwight, he was also helping him.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting, and I don't know if they'll show it because you know how the Fear the Walking Dead is, but I hope they give us a one-on-one scene with the two of them.
Me
just
too.
to kind of rehash everything.
Doesn't have to be long, just a little something like everyone's alive and well.
Yes.
Right.
Because like
They
I said,
prospered.
I think last episode, they really haven't mentioned characters from Alexandria or the Kingdom by name.
Mm-hmm.
Morgan hasn't said their names yet.
No.
So it would be nice to have them talk about it. Give us a little nostalgia.
Yes.
So once again, another surprise at the end of the episode. We find out who's been leaving the tied up walkers, and it's the kids.
Crazy.
Who I didn't expect that.
Me neither.
No.
And like I said earlier to you, Krista, I don't think that it's just because they want people to leave them alone. I think that there's a whole
way
other
bigger
sinister
picture.
level.
But like, how did that? You guys are children, sinister little
They
children.
gotta learn fast in the Walking
Exactly.
Dead.
But
Like,
if you
what
think about
happened
it-
to you?
Yeah, but if you think about it, they grew up in this, Krista.
Yeah,
This is
that's
all
true.
they know.
That's
so they've lost their parents. Did they kill their parents?
Maybe. Oh, come
I
on.
mean,
Probably.
who knows?
Well, it gave me a lot of.
But then wouldn't they have just killed them? Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, true. But no, okay.
There's too many of them.
The girl gave me a lot of like, I don't remember their names, but the kids that Carol was with, the like evil one who she shot in the back of the head.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I can't remember their names.
yeah.
But she gave me a lot of those vibes. But I was like, literally, you did all of this and your kids. I was like, never underestimate kids
Never
because this whole time that we're like, who in the world did all of this crazy stuff? Like they have freaking blocks of wood with nails in it in the middle of the street. But it doesn't make sense to me as to how you were saying earlier, like if they're just like trying to figure out, oh, why are you here? Then why are they stopping everyone? Like, why not just let them pass on through?
I don't know if it's necessarily that. I think it was them trying to keep themselves in and no one else in with them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Again, who knows with these kids because they've already shocked me once.
Yeah.
But I think they have some major trust issues for starters.
Yeah.
And I feel like the sister is the mastermind. And I had hope in the two boys, but she's a evil little.
But to go as far as they're going, like to put their brother as bait, essentially, and like
covers him in blood. You're right.
Yeah, they're gonna do all this other stuff just to figure out why they're there.
Like, do we
they're
think
there
they're
to help
alone?
you? Like they told you this a million times.
I don't know. I feel like all three of those kids are pawns, and they're working for the
That's
big
what
guy.
I was gonna ask you that. I was
what's
like, do you
happening.
think it's just them, or do you think there's others?
They're working for the big bad that has not been revealed yet. They're working for
that would make
him
more
or her.
sense.
Yeah.
That I can get
Guarantee you.
behind.
And it would be a good surprise because it's not like, oh, the children are the mastermind.
Yeah.
Even
So I was
though
just
like this
that's a
whole
lot.
Children of the Corn thing is kind of cool.
It is.
But yeah, but
I'm
then
here
we
for
did
it.
see them send. It's just I have so many questions. So
I
don't
do.
know, yeah.
But this is why the writers of Fear the Walking Dead are so great because they like leave you with all these questions at the end of every single episode.
Yeah.
Keeps you coming back.
Exactly. That is our review of season 5, episode 3, Humbug's Gulch. I got it right that time, you guys. Any final thoughts on the episode before we move on to our special segments?
Not for me.
It's a good episode.
It was a good episode. If we want to hear your thoughts on the kids and everything like that, we're going to get into predictions later on in a second. But we want to hear all your thoughts. So tweet at us. We'll give you our Twitter handles at the end. And leave us the comments on the YouTube video because, like I said, we want to hear your thoughts. Let's move on to our special segments, you guys. One of our favorites, our favorite kill tonight. I think we're all going to have the same one.
Yeah.
I've been trying to think of another
Me
one
too.
just
Me
so we
too.
don't have the same one.
Me too.
Well, since I haven't thought of another one, it's definitely the John one.
Let's hear your favorite kills tonight, guys.
The John one.
Yeah.
There it is.
I mean,
There's
it's
our
John.
soundbite.
Yeah, it's
Anything
John's
else would just be
Mm-hmm.
A disservice.
Yeah.
Yes, and a discredit.
the San Antonio split. We're
Done.
here for it.
That was amazing.
Most epic one of the season.
Oh yes.
But legit, it was.
Legit.
I mean, I don't know if we. I think I like the fact that we have a unanimous favorite kill.
Yes,
Me
that
too.
was-
Because
it was
it's. I mean, it was so
fantastic.
good. It was so good.
Yeah.
I want to get into our How Not to Survive a Zombie Apocalypse episode. This is, I mean, our segment.
All of them.
This
today.
is, I mean, literally. This is our segment where we talk about if you were in a zombie apocalypse, what you wouldn't do, because it would probably end up dead.
Yeah.
What do you guys think your standout moment for this segment is?
Well, I think for starters, everything Dwight did from the moment he
Oh,
stumbled
yeah.
upon
Yes,
them, jumping
yes.
off the roof, locking himself in the car.
Mhm.
Just Dwight.
Just
Being
Dwight.
Dwight today was what you don't do. Yeah.
I'm going to go with the sandstorm, maybe. Y'all changed my mind.
Yeah.
There you go. Or whatever it was. Dust storm. Because, I mean, it's true. Like, they could have just waited it out. There was no reason for them not to.
Nice
so let's go dust storm.
Yeah.
I like that.
Don't trust kids that you don't know in
Don't
a new area where dead heads are hanging around and dead walkers are tied up.
Yes.
Don't trust them.
Right? And they're just casually still speaking to you on the walkie, like, every now and then, but, which means they're close.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point, Benny. I feel like we are not very good Walking Dead fans or the Walking Dead universe fans, because I feel like we should know not to trust anybody, and yet these kids come along, and now we're all surprised that they're
they're
crazy.
We've all got a little bit of Morgan in us.
I think so. Those are good ones, you guys. I want to get into our next segment, our news and gossip segment.
Woo!
Yes.
TV News.
Right, so not much going on in the Fear the Walking Dead news and gossip area, but the actor who plays Dwight, he was talking about his crossover episode, and they asked him who would he like to see crossover from The Walking Dead to the Fear the Walking Dead. And so he said that he would like to see Daryl make an appearance,
of course
because of their whole situation.
Yeah.
So that would be interesting. How I feel about that, I'm actually kind of good with the two characters from The Walking Dead. I don't think they need any more. And Daryl is just such a big character in The Walking Dead. I don't think he needs to go to Fear the Walking Dead.
No, they definitely won't do that.
And if you keep bringing characters over from The Walking Dead onto Fear the Walking Dead, then it's not really Fear the Walking Dead anymore.
Exactly.
It's just The Walking Dead.
Right. In a different new area.
In a different area.
Also, do y'all know who directed this episode?
No.
Victor Strand, a.k.a.
Coleman Domingo.
He
nice.
directs a lot, but I feel like I tend to like the episodes where he directs.
He does.
Yeah.
He does a good job.
And for this being my favorite
Bravo.
episode of this season so far is a testament to his directorial skills.
Exactly.
Nice.
Good for him.
Good job.
Yeah. Good. Thank you for that news and gossip. Benny.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
We're going to get into some predictions. Clearly, we've let a few slip while we've been talking about the episode.
Your AfterBuzz TV prediction.
But I want to hear some more predictions,
I
you guys.
have
I'm greedy.
A couple from chat. Javier Quintanilla says, mom and dad, the big bad, meaning that the mom and dad are actually
They're not
alive,
dead.
and
Dun,
they're
dun,
the ringleaders of it all.
dun.
But dang, that's even more sinister. You're putting your kids.
That is
as the
dark.
thing?
That's
Yeah.
really good.
I mean, but that kind of would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
And then everyone thinks that Dwight won't find Sherry. Sherry, you're dead.
Oh.
R.I.P.
Bye. R.I.P.
I think we're gonna next episodes. Obviously, we have to cut back to Victor and those guys for a bit too.
Yeah.
And I don't think that stubborn little Victor's done with the plane. He's gonna try to steal it or something.
Yeah.
For
Agreed.
sure. And I don't know. Like, hopefully it's successful because I don't want them all to be split up for the entire season again.
Mm-hmm.
So if we could get that ball rolling sooner rather than later, I'd like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Victor stealing the plane as well. And I feel like it will be successful just for that purpose. They've been apart for too long. We need to get some of our OGs
Like, give
back
us
together.
one season where they can all be in one place for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think eventually they are going to meet up, but I don't think everyone is going to survive.
No.
So that's gonna be a downer.
That's true.
Yeah.
And the big bad I think is gonna be revealed soon. So that's gonna be interesting. So
Piggybacking on all of those, I do need to see some more of Sarah and Wendell's characters because I miss them.
And
I think they're
Charlie.
great characters. And Charlie, I'm okay with not
Yeah, but
seeing
I've
Charlie.
been wondering what you've been up to. That's true.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm okay with not seeing Charlie. Benny.
I thought of another one.
Yes.
Maggie Grace's character.
That's right. We literally forgot about
Like
Al.
I said it
Oh,
before.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna see her until like either the mid-season
think?
finale or
Probably.
the season finale.
I mean, there
Maybe.
could be a chance that the big bad that you're talking about, the kids could be related to the people who took Al. I mean, they could all be connected in some way. There can't be that many big bads going on, or maybe that's what they're doing for this season. Is
Like
having
there's just
all
like
of these
yes,
clues.
and we met the one girl cleaning up all of the like radioactive. How many
There
individuals
are a
are
lot of
like
storylines.
in this one? Yeah.
Yes. In this one area
Yeah.
that's
Mhm.
apparently sectioned off or like blocked off by the kids.
Crazy.
There's a lot of people in there for being blocked off by the kids. Another prediction
go
of mine was that Lucy, I don't think Lucy's going to survive this season.
No.
Me
And the
neither.
only reason I say that is because we've already foreshadowed her and Alicia getting closer, and if we know anything, once you get close to Alicia, they're
You die.
probably going to take you
Yeah.
away. If you can take away your brother and your mother, they'll probably take away your friend too.
Yeah.
So I don't think that Lucy will survive this season.
I concur completely with that.
What were we gonna say, April?
Now that you said it, I definitely don't think that we'll see more Micah Grace's character for a long time because they for sure confirmed that the people who took her are the same people as Rick.
Yeah.
So like,
she's probably with Rick.
Yeah, they're probably at an island drinking martinis right now.
Right? She does favor Lori a little bit, but no, Rick and Michonne forever. So
yeah, she's gonna be in the movies.
Al
will be in the movie.
She's like, I'm out of here, y'all. Yeah. Bye.
Alrighty, those are our predictions, everybody. Let us know what your predictions are in our chat. Great show, you guys.
Yes. So happy to be back together.
I'm so glad that we had a full panel tonight.
Me too.
Where can the fans find you guys?
Hey guys, you can find me all over social media at Krista Flengy.
And y'all can find me everywhere at April Wissenhant.
What's up, guys? I'm Benny Adams, and you can find me on all social media at Benny J. Adams.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. You can find me everywhere at I Am Timothy Mike. Like I said earlier in the episode, we will be back to our regularly scheduled programming next Monday at 8 p.m. We'll see you guys then.
Bye.
See you guys later. Have a good night.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.